Nothing in this podcast or on our website should be construed as medical advice. Consult your healthcare provider for your individual nutritional and medical needs. The information presented is based on our research and is strictly that of the author and not necessarily those of any professional group or other individual.
Hi, I'm Sue Becker from Bread Beckers. Welcome to Sue's Healthy Minutes. I'm so excited you've joined me today, and I hope this episode encourages you and allows you to find the answers you have been praying for the health of you and your family. It's Labor Day weekend. For some, it is a long weekend marking the official end of summer vacations and a chance to squeeze in one last fun-filled celebration. But historically, it is a day honoring hardworking people like you and me. And if you're like me, it is always nice when someone takes the time to thank you for your hard work and share how what you do has helped them. I love hearing people's stories and especially sharing them with you, as I know they will encourage you in your journey just as they do me. If you've been listening to Sue's Healthy Minutes for a while now, you've probably heard different interviews that I have done with those who have shared their real bread stories with me. Well, it's not always possible to talk personally with those who share their stories, so today I thought it would be encouraging to you to read just a few of the emails I have received recently from those whose lives have been changed through the information we've been sharing for nearly 30 years now. I will not share names, only initials to protect the privacy of the individuals. The first testimony actually came in the form of a question initially, but I'm going to read the entire correspondence that led to a very positive outcome. After listening to episode 21 of Sue's Healthy Minutes entitled Sue's Summer Super Energy Shake, Dee emailed this concern. Hi all, I recently listened to Sue's Healthy Minutes and have tried the shake for 4 days in a row, and I've been getting a nagging headache ever since I began, along with being very lethargic and overall flu-like feelings. Is this just me? Or is it a normal reaction to these different powders, cacao, maca, and lucuma? I'm considering stopping this drink altogether. Thank you for your input in advance. God bless, Dee. Since I had never heard of this response to this amazing shake, I replied to Dee. Hi, Dee. I've never had that reaction, and I've never had anyone tell me that they've had problems with these raw foods. In fact, I have served this shake in classes and it shows to lots of people, but they are foods and maybe you indeed have an intolerance for one of them. I would certainly stop drinking it for a day or two and see if your symptoms resolve. But here are some things to consider when trying to pinpoint the reason for the reaction you are having. Could it be the milk? What type of milk are you using? Is it milk you have used before with no reaction? Did you get the Natural Zing brand of maca, lucuma, and cacao that we sell here at Bread Beckers? If not, is the brand you're using organic? Could you actually be coming down with something that just happened to start at the same time? I'm sure sorry you're having these symptoms. I always feel great and energized when I drink it, which is almost every day. Once you feel better, and if you want to try it again, but only if you want to, I would start by using just one of the powders at a time and see if you react. Maca is the main one I would try. Cacao and lucuma do have some good benefits, but are mostly for flavor. I would really love to hear back from you to see how you're doing and if you figure it out. I would certainly want to share your experience, good or bad, if I need to. Dee then replied back to me. Thanks for responding to my email. I will take your advice and take the next 2 days off for sure, and just do the maca at first and then add lucuma and lastly cacao 1 day at a time. I'm using almond milk and I'm good with almond milk. The brand of powders on all three is organic and the name is Terrasol. So I guess it's not that I'm detoxifying then, since you haven't heard of that happening with anyone. So I will let you know how this goes. To be continued. LOL. Later in the day, I added some further information to my previous email. D, just an FYI, I just did a little research on the brand of maca you are using. It is gelatinized, which means the fiber is removed. That could be the problem. The one we sell and that I use is the whole raw maca. With the fiber removed, that could possibly cause a rapid rise in your blood sugar, leading to your headaches as well. Sue. 1 week later, I received this wonderful testimony from D. Hi, Sue. Happy Sunday. I wanted to give you the update of how this week went with the Summer Maca Energy Shake. Thanks so much for all you do. I am doing terrific using all 3 powders. Whether it was the gelatinized version of the maca or I was fighting something, ? But this week, I started with the maca you recommended, Natural Zing brand of maca, and then the next day used both the maca and lucuma, and the third day, all 3 with cacao. No headaches all week. Yay! Thank you so much. A side note, my husband and our son have been drinking it too. My husband has had a bad back issue for a couple of months, and it has really made a difference. He is loving the energy it gives him and the fact that he is able to do more without pain and by God's grace, getting better bit by bit. And our son says he feels the energy boost right away with just 1 sip, and both say clarity of thought as well. We've added 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and some almond butter. It really is a wonderful drink that just makes you feel healthy just drinking it. I love the Sue's Healthy Minutes. I listen to it every week and look forward to it every Monday. It has benefited the health of our family. And for years now, you have been used of God to bless our family's health in so many ways. God led us your way since 2010, and we've been milling our own wheat and making our own bread and baked goods ever since. Your CD titled Do Not Eat the Bread of Idleness was so instrumental. Once we started to mill, we didn't need Metamucil anymore, LOL, and life has been so healthy. Thank you for doing what you do. God bless you and your family and business. Lord willing, we'll see you sometime when we visit Georgia. Happy Sunday and have a blessed week. I joyfully responded to D with this reply. D, thank you so much for the update. I was just thinking of you on Friday as I made my shake. I was wondering how you were doing, so I'm so glad you emailed to let me know that you and your family are enjoying it as much as I do. The good natural energy is amazing, and I also notice better clarity of mind. So important these days. I'm equally glad, if not more so, that you found this truth in 2010 and are still on this real bread baking journey. Thank you again for reaching out and for your encouraging words. It's stories like yours that keep me going when I am weary or I have doubts. Sincerely, Sue. It is always encouraging to hear that our work is not in vain and that something we have taught has improved the lives of others. My next email came from M a few months ago, but blessed me perhaps as much as the good report blessed her. It's a short testimony, but here's her story. It was suggested to me that you would like my testimony about my good colonoscopy results. I attended your pressure cooking class this past Saturday, and I shared my good results in the class. I had a colonoscopy in August 2018, and 3 polyps were found. Since I was considered high risk, I was told to come back in 3 years for another colonoscopy. In October of that year, I attended my first class at Bread Becker's. I was truly blessed to discover the health benefits of eating real bread. I have stayed with your program since then. My recent colonoscopy was 3 weeks ago, and no polyps were found. I give credit to you and thank you for letting us know how beneficial eating the right foods makes all the difference. You really are such an inspiration. Many, many thanks. M. But I want to say Many, many thanks to each of you for taking the time to share your stories with me. It is a real blessing. And just a few weeks ago, I received this email from another Happy M. Hi, Sue. I just wanted to reach out to you to tell you how milling my own grain and making my own bread has blessed my family. First of all, the taste. So delicious. Store or even bakery bread flavor doesn't even compare. My husband is Sicilian and bread is something he just can't give up. He has some digestive issues. I make homemade bread and breakfast Ezekiel pumpkin muffins each week. He notices a dramatic difference in his digestion. He notices how my bread does not bloat him like other bread does. He notices also how much better our skin is. Also, there's something about making my own bread, from knowing how healthy this is for the people I love, to the taste, to how wonderful it makes my house smell. Maybe it's because my mother and grandmother made homemade bread and I remembered how I loved it as a little girl. Nevertheless, thank you, Miss Sue. You sharing your passion is helpfully benefiting scores of people. I have told dozens of people how much we love it. God bless you, M. And again, I say thank you for sharing your stories. Bless me more than you could ever know. Earlier this year, I had the great privilege of recording a 4-part series on whole grains and real bread with Michael Rood TV on their program Shabbat Night Live. You can find the links to this Shabbat Night Live series in this episode's podcast description. The series has truly been life-changing for many of the listeners, and again, such a blessing to hear from so many. Today, I'll share just 2 of the incredible stories we have received. Again, E's story comes in the form of a question first. She writes this: I have been praying about bread. After many years, I stopped eating it because I have gluten sensitivity. I have taken care of leaky gut, and I have noticed that when I eat gluten, sometimes it affects me and sometimes it doesn't. I believe this has to do with how heavy the other chemicals are on the product. I believe seeing you on Michael Rood has been an answer to my prayers about why I cannot eat bread if the Bible says something different. Before I buy the mill and the wheat, I would like to try the bread to see if it's for me or if I need to learn how to produce bread from sprouted grains. Do you guys have any recommendations of how I can try the most natural wheat flour possible without buying the mill so I can try it? Any info? Probably somebody who already is doing it in my area could sell me some to try so I can see if my body says yes or no. I hope with all your experience, you already have an answer to this question that you could pass on that could help me. I answer E's concerns as best I can. Thank you so much for reaching out. I am so glad you're enjoying the series on Shabbat Night Live with Michael Rood. It was a privilege to be asked to come and share. It is very probable that your sensitivity is from commercially processed wheat products and not wheat itself. With the nutrients stripped away and the chemical exposure the processed flour goes through, it is not surprising at all that Americans have so many health issues. The easiest way to check for intolerance might be to simply purchase a small amount of organic wheat and just boil it and eat it. That way you're just eating the wheat and not any other components of a bread recipe. You can, of course, order a 2-pound bag of organic red wheat from us. We can even mill 2 pounds into flour for you. Of course, this isn't optimal as the nutrients begin to oxidize shortly after milling, and shipping costs are a bit ridiculous these days. It might be good to see if you can find it from a local source to at least try some. Sincerely, Sue. 1 month later, I get this amazing testimony from E. Sue, I found the wheat berries, used my Vitamix to mill it, prepared the bread, and that changed my health. I was sick of my digestive issues and battling with a cloud on my head. I wasn't able to work anymore. The bread has brought me back, and I praise and thank the Lord for the ministry He gave you. This has blessed my health radically. I went back to work, and now I'm moving forward. Now I'm sharing the good news with my congregation. Last week, I brought the bread and everyone tried it. I'm bringing the recipe this week. My prayers and my blessings for you and your ministry. Thank you very much, E. To which I joyfully replied, "This is such good news. Thank you for sharing with me. This is so encouraging. Praise be to God, our gracious Heavenly Father." What a wonderful story. Last but not least, quite a lengthy testimony came from an older gentleman that also heard me on Michael Rood TV, Shabbat Night Live. This gentleman wrote to Michael Rood's ministry to share this powerful, real bread story, which thankfully they passed along to me. He was quite thorough in documenting the improvements he experienced from real bread and real whole grains. I will read his story now. He begins, "Forgive me for taking so long with this. Well, here goes. On July 9th, I started eating whole kernel grain, and on the 11th, baked my first fresh milled bread. From the first day, I started to notice changes in my body. I had more energy. I was more alert. I felt more positive. I was stronger and had more endurance. Over the next few days and then weeks, I noticed more changes. It has now been 22 days. Following is a list of changes I have noticed, not necessarily in order, but I started noticing these things from the second day to the first week, and it continues. Number 1, losing weight. 8 pounds in 6 days, 11 pounds in 10 days, 15 pounds in 15 days. I've since put some back on, but my belt size is still going down, now down from 35 to 33.5. I gained it from the waist up, and I'm losing it from the jowls down. Number 2, far more energy on less sleep and less food. I eat bread or boiled grain 3 times a day. It has become a staple part of my meals. Number 3, more flexible. I can do a full squat and rise, kneel and rise unaided. Joint pain and inflammation mostly gone. Still some pain and numbness in my feet, but 3 weeks ago, I couldn't rub them without pain. Number 4, skin tightening and appears younger. Eczema and rashes disappearing. I've had it from birth. Acne disappearing. Had it from puberty. I'll be 73 in January 2023. Fungal growth shrinking, some gone. Number 5, lung capacity greatly increased. Sinuses are drying up. For the last couple of years, I've been constantly stuffed up. Tinnitus is fading away. I can feel my ear draining regularly. Had it since 2008. Number 6, endurance, ability to focus, concentrate, reason, problem solve greatly increased. I don't have to take my cane when I walk a half a mile for my groceries. I can do my daily workout and feel energized instead of exhausted. Number 7, eyesight improved. Right eye was good near and far. Left eye was blurry near and far. Now right eye is blurry near and good far. Left eye is good near and blurry far. They balance themselves out, so now I have equal vision near and far. My hand-to-eye coordination, balance, etc. is better. I know it sounds far-fetched, but it is true. Number 8, strength increased. I haven't been able to do a chin-up for at least 8 years. Now I can do 7 per set, several sets. Yesterday, I did 3 fingertip push-ups and haven't done that since 2008. Number 9, my nail health seems to be improving. Less brittle and one hangnail gone, the other almost. Number 10, heart rate down. Today, after 15 minutes on stationary bike, my pulse was 64 per minute, down from 78 plus. Up until 10 to 12 years ago, it was always around 60. Unless I got excited, it might go up to 70 or so. Number 11, urinary. Again, for the last 12 years or so, this has been a real problem. Lately, every 2 hours through the day and night. Now, every 3 or 4 hours daytime, and I can go 5 at night. Well, I think that covers it. One thing, after the first week, my elimination went haywire, but in the last couple of days, it seems to be normalizing again. For me, that's one early every morning. I was able to up my water intake since it's now going where it's supposed to instead of straight to my bladder. I hope this helps you. Feel free to pass it on. May Yahweh bless and keep you all. Shalom. Wow, if that real bread story doesn't get you excited, I do not know what will. I also hope that it helps you realize that it is never too late to start on this journey and never too late to thank God for what He has done. There is something so uplifting when you can know that what you are doing is having a positive impact on others. My husband Brad and I have worked tirelessly for nearly 30 years fulfilling the calling God put on our lives through Breadbeckers, and we hope to continue for many more years. Our staff and crew at Breadbeckers now makes all of this possible to continue to serve each and every one of you as best we can. Years ago, I read a definition for gratitude. It said, gratitude is making known to God and others in what way they have benefited your life. It is your stories of gratitude that help keep us all going, especially when discouragement or weariness tries to set in. Galatians 6:9 tells us to not grow weary or become discouraged in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give in. So please keep your stories coming, for they are truly our harvest and a great encouragement to us. I want to thank you for listening today. I hope these stories have encouraged you as much as they have me. And I hope today you will enjoy some good food and fun in your celebration, and actually every day. Until next time, this is Sue Becker from Breadbeckers with Sue's Healthy Minutes.
Sue's Healthy Minutes podcast has been a presentation by the Breadbeckers Incorporated located in Woodstock, Georgia. For more information, store hours, and learning opportunities, visit breadbeckers.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast and never miss an episode. Share this with 2 friends who would benefit from this information, and be sure to join us again next week for more of Sue's Healthy Minutes.